I went to the nation's largest environmental organizations' websites, 350.org, Greenpeace, Sierra Club, Climate Reality, Rainforest Action Network, Amazon Watch, and was shocked to see they had virtually nothing on animal agriculture. What was going on? Why would they not have this information on there? It seemed the main focus for many of these groups was natural gas and oil production, with fracking being the latest hot issue due to water usage and contamination. Hydraulic fracturing for natural gas uses an incredible amount of water. A staggering 100 billion gallons of water is used every year in the United States. But when I compared this with animal agriculture, raising livestock just in the US consumes 34 trillion gallons of water. And it turns out the methane emissions from both industries are nearly equal. Living in California, a state plagued by drought and water shortages, water use is a major concern for many of us.
The average Californian uses about 1,500 gallons per person per day. About half of that is related to the consumption of meat and dairy products. So meat and dairy products are incredibly water intensive, in part because the animals are using very water intensive grains. That's what they eat. And so all of the water embedded in the grain and that the animal eats essentially is considered part of the virtual water footprint of that product.
I found out that 1/4 pound hamburger requires over 660 gallons of water to produce. Here I've been taking these short showers trying to save water, and to find out just eating one hamburger is the equivalent of showering 2 entire months. So much attention is given to lowering our home water use, yet domestic water use is only 5% of what is consumed in the US versus 55% for animal agriculture. That's because it takes upwards of 2,500 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef. I went on the government's Department of Water Resources' Save Our Water campaign, where it outlines behavior changes to help conserve our water, like using low-flow shower heads, efficient toilets, water-saving appliances, and fix leaky faucets and sprinkler heads, but nothing about animal agriculture. When I added up all the government's recommendations, I was saving 47 gallons a day. But still, that's not even close to the 660 gallons of water for just one burger. I wanted to see if I could somehow talk with the government about this. Just calling to see if we could schedule an interview.
Yeah, that would be good. What does your schedule look like this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow afternoon could be good.
For the urban environment, there are a lot of things that can be done. Indoor, using low-flow shower heads, low-flow faucets, efficient toilets, efficient water using appliances. All those are really good areas that can help quite a lot. But the biggest water savings is from outdoors.
We have to be mindful of the way we use water. We have to use it as efficiently as possible. We have to protect its quality, and we have to be good stewards of the environment that depend on water.
And checking the sprinklers. A lot of time we get a lot of leaks and broken sprinklers and things like that wastes water. And those are the areas that there's a lot of room for conservation.
It kept on coming up. A lot was of animal agriculture. Can you comment on that at all, about how much that plays a role in water consumption and pollution?
That's not my area.
There's one study that found that 1 pound of beef, 2,500 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eggs is 477 gallons of water, and cheese almost 900 gallons. I mean, I guess it's one simple, why isn't it on Save Our Water? Just, it's kind of like if you went to someone's house and my neighbor has a faucet, dripping, and then you see this giant hose turn full blast until 660 gallons of water are shooting out into the street, flooding the entire street. I think I would say, hey, turn that off, please. It seems like it's a huge thing that we could be doing by far more than anything else. Just like, if that is really the case.
I think that the water footprint of animal husbandry is greater than other activities. There's no ifs, and, or buts about it.
That would be really powerful, just rather than waiting till we're in a drought. You know, what do you think about just starting now and whoever's in charge of the Save Our Water, hey, let's start encouraging people to eat less meat now because these studies are coming out.
I don't think that'll happen.
Why?
I don't think that'll happen.
Why?
Because of the way government is set up here.
That's interesting though. Why though?
One is water management and the other one is behavior change.
Behavior of taking showers and not watering your lawn and doing all that, that's behavior.
Yeah.
Wow. Clearly the government did not want to talk about this issue. Their inability to answer, along with the environmental organization's silence on the topic of animal agriculture, made it seem something more was going on. Yet, the world's largest environmental groups that are supposed to be saving our world didn't mention this anywhere. After Greenpeace's initial denial for an interview, I wrote again, begging they reconsider. Greenpeace got back again and said again, I'm afraid we've explored the options here in terms of helping you and are not going to be able to be involved this time. Unbelievable. With Greenpeace unwilling to be interviewed, I had to find a different avenue for answers. There's something really fishy going on over there. Fortunately, I found a former Greenpeace board of director who now speaks openly about the industry.
Environmental organizations, like other organizations, are not telling you the truth about what the world needs from us as a species. It's so frustrating when the information is right before their eyes. It's documented in peer-reviewed papers and journals. It's there for everybody to see, but the environmental organizations are refusing to act. Nowhere do you find in their policies, and nowhere do you find in the Greenpeace mission that diet is important, that animal agriculture is the problem. They are refusing, like other environmental organizations, to look at the issue.
Typically, a cow will eat 140 to 150 pounds of feed a day. 140 to 50 pounds of feed every day. And then she's also going to drink between 30 and 40 gallons of water.
How could cow's milk be sustainable? For when 1 gallon of milk, it takes upwards of 1,000 gallons of water to produce. Some people would say the problem isn't really animal agriculture, but actually human overpopulation. In 1812, there were 1 billion people on the planet. In 1912, there were 1.5 billion. Then, just 100 years later, our population exploded to 7 billion humans. This number is rightly given a great deal of attention, but an even more important figure when determining world population is the world's 70 billion farm animals humans raise. The human population drinks 5.2 billion gallons of water every day and eats 21 billion pounds of food. But just the world's 1.5 billion cows alone drink 45 billion gallons of water every day and eat 135 billion pounds of food. This isn't so much a human population issue, it's a human eating animals population issue. Environmental organizations not addressing this is like health organizations trying to stop lung cancer without addressing cigarettes.
You can't be an environmentalist and eat animal products, period. Kid yourself if you want. If you want to feed your addiction, so be it. But don't call yourself an environmentalist.